Welcome, everyone, to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yardmaster, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today we are covering an entire species worth of ships. Today is basically Gorn Day. Because we are covering the Gorn. 4 ships in Starfleet Command, 4 ships in Star Trek Online. The Starfleet Command ships are TMP era, so I will hand things off to our Lore Master.
Prior to their first contact with the Federation, the Gorn had been having issues with another interstellar power. You might have 3 guesses. It's the Romulans.
Yep.
Both sides vied for territory and... territory, influence, resources. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
What both sides had in common, however, was a mastery of the 4th state of matter, otherwise known as plasma.
Yeah.
To the point where both sides actively use plasma torpedoes.
Oh.
As shown here.
Yeah.
In fact, I just showcased their very risky but very effective, well, rule. Drown them in plasma. Lock a tractor beam, then hit them with the death beam of death.
Yeah, hit them with every... Yeah, lock a tractor beam, then hit them with every single plasma torpedo. We have this as a special rule for most Gorn starships. And basically, as long as you lock a starship lock an opponent with a tractor beam, you will be able to use your plasma torpedoes, normally long-range weapons, at close range with no penalty. However, you must fire a salvo, which basically increases the damage dice dealt at the expense of an increase in threat. Threat is a particular Star Trek Adventures resource mainly used by the GM to throw wrenches into the situation. And so we will start with the largest of the Gorn starships of the time.
Which is not seen here due to the limitations of SFC-1.
Yeah.
If I had SFC-2, that'd be another story.
Yeah. What we have... The first starship is the Dreadnought. This is the Gorn battleship Dreadnought. And most Gorn... The other Gorn... This one is 2217.
3, 2...
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get a tractor lock for it.
Yeah. Trying to get a tractor lock for drowning in plasma.
Because everyone loves drowning in plasma.
Yeah. And most Gorn starships will also have a trait icon-focused plasma. With a minor action, the ship's plasma torpedo is a high yield weapon quality round. High yield is something that plasma torpedoes normally have.
However,
Gorn starships. However, we had to represent the Red Death torpedo. something.
Because seriously, it's the Red Death torpedo.
Yeah.
There's nothing more iconic than the Red Death torpedo.
Yes. So, Gorn battle. Scale 5 starship. That's 47, 48 points. We've already statted these for earlier videos, but we're doing all this in one go. Comms 8, computers 6, engines 8, sensors 7, structure 9, weapons 10. And departments, baseline departments for the space frame. It has a point in command, a point in security, and a point in engineering. Weapons, it has disruptor banks, disruptor cannons, plasma torpedoes, and a strength 4 tractor beam. Talents, the Grendel class battleship is a command ship. It also has a rapid fire torpedo launcher, and like all Gorn starships, it has rugged design.
And my personal favorite. Drown them in plasma.
Yeah, that is... It has both the special rules, hyper-focused plasma torpedoes, and drown them in plasma. For descriptor traits, Gorn starship, and Fury of the Gorn. Next on the list is the next step down. Valar class. This is the heavy cruiser type. It has 7 points each in comms, computers, and sensors, and 9 points in engines, structure, and weapons. It is a scale 5 starship just like the Grendel. The Grendel is just bigger. Departments. This thing has a point in security, a point in engineering, and a point in science. So this thing is also a little bit more of a explorer type.
After all, heavy cruisers are the standard "we're going to go see the stars" vessels.
Yeah.
And that is why plasma torpedoes are feared.
Yeah. Same weapons loadout, disruptor banks, disruptor cannons, plasma torpedoes, strength 4 tractor beam. And talents, it still has the rapid fire torpedo launcher and rugged design, but instead of command ship, the Valar has modular laboratory. So this is something of a research. Descriptor traits, Gorn starship enduring legacy, and again, the same 2 special rules. And next is the scale 4 Suchos, the light cruiser destroyer type. And Gorn starship and hard to kill are its descriptor traits. For departments, it has 10 structure and 9 weapons, and a 7 in everything else: comms, engines, computers, and sensors. 2 points in security, 1 point in engineering. This is basically your frontline boat, meant to stand on the front lines, take a beating, and deal a lot of damage. Disruptor banks, disruptor cannons, 3 tractor beam, plated armor, talents. And it still has the same special rules, though there is a difference. If the ship has rapid fire torpedo launcher, that has to be used in ground plasma. The Suchos does not, so its drowned in plasma text does not include torpedo launcher. Lastly, we have the frigate size vessel. Scale 3, so 20 to 100 crew. Has 7 comms, 7, computer 7, engines 8, sensors 6, structure 9, weapons 9. 2 points in security, 1 point in con. This is basically the high maneuverability combat vessel. It does not have drown them in plasma or hyper-focused plasma torpedoes because it just doesn't have them. It's too small to have the equipment for them. And its main talent is rugged design. It still has the same arsenal loadout type. Disruptor banks, disruptor cannons, plasma torpedoes, and strength, and a tractor beam, though its tractor beam is strength 2. And that is it for the motion picture era of the Gorn.
These ships happen to last a very long time. After all, the Gorn do not throw away what is still useful.
Yeah.
And while they're kind of as bad as the Klingons when it comes to that sort of thing, when something works, it just works. And,
yeah.
Well, the Gorn can't really use all their anyone else's stuff. They're not stupid, but they really, really big hands.
Yeah. Just because they're really big with big scaly hands and scaly fingers doesn't make them stupid.
As STO proves.
And in Star Trek Online, most of the Gorn starships here are in the 2380s for launch dates. 2387.
After all, after the Dominion War, the Gorn were going to need a new starship program. After seeing the 2370s, 80s era Miranda refits and Excelsiors get their asses handed to them by the Dominion.
Yeah.
So new crash design program.
Yep. And that starts with the Phalanx. In the TMP era, Phalanx is a scale 5 starship. And, ironically, the smallest of the Gorn starships of the TNG era.
But still, obviously based on the older Gorn designs. After all, evolutionary, not revolutionary. That's kind of Starfleet's thing.
Yeah. Systems layout for the Phalanx. Comms 9, computers 11, engines 9, sensors 10, structure 10, weapons 10. This thing is more intended as a research vessel that can defend itself. Department-wise, it has 2 points in science and 1 in engineering. It has disruptor arrays, disruptor banks, plasma torpedoes, strength 4 tractor beam. And for talents, it has high-resolution sensors, improved power systems, rugged design, and secondary reactors. And it still has room for a mission profile talent. And of course, the special rules of the special rules of the Gorn return. Hyper-focused plasma torpedoes and drown them in plasma.
Because it never goes away.
Yeah. Even after being subsumed by the Klingons, the Gorn still maintain their mastery of plasma. Next on the list is the Dragoas.
Slightly bigger, you know.
Yeah. Still scale 5, still 2387 launch date. Part of the same program. Comms 9, computers 10, engines 10, sensors 11, structure 10, weapons 9. A little less firepower. point in engineering and science, and a point in medicine. This thing can also do some crisis relief. Scale disruptor arrays, disruptor banks, the same weapons loadout. Talents, it has advanced medical ward, rugged design, and secondary reactor. This thing is, well, it's sort of the Gorn hospital ship.
That's basically the Gorn role in the KDF.
Yeah.
After all,
Next,
the Klingons don't do that sort of thing.
yeah,
The Klingons aren't stupid either. They're just more of the can I shoot it to death sort of people.
yeah, they don't focus on medicine that much. The next starship design is the Varanus, which comes 2 years later. Well, 10 years, 11 years later, 2398. This was probably built during the time that they were clashing with the Klingons, before the Klingons fully committed themselves and conquered the Gorn.
Which sucks to be the Gorn because, well, as you can tell, this really would have been one of their top tier vessels. Akin to the Galaxy class in a way.
Yeah.
But that's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's just one of the very few support non-aligned vessels the Klingons actually use.
Yep. Comms 9. It's a scale 6 starship. One of the biggest the Gorn have fielded. Comms 9, computers 10, engines 10, sensors 11, structure 10, weapons 11. Has a point each in command, security, and science. This thing is a multi-role. This thing is as close to a multi-role vessel as the Gorn can get.
Which is kind of depressing because, well...
Yeah. Disruptor array, same weapons loadout, but the tractor beam is now strength 5. Talents, command ship, improved hull integrity, rugged design, secondary reactor. And the same special rules as most other Gorn starships.
And now we move on to the post-conquest ships.
Yeah. The multi-mission science, the multi-mission vessel.
In other words, just use the same rule. We use the same general stats as the Vesta because, well, it is the KDF Vesta.
Yeah, just updating the entered service date to 2410. Because this is basically either a pre-Iconian conflict, this is as a result of the Iconian conflict. Or at least was developed during it. Comms 10, computers 10, engines 10, sensors 11, structure 10, weapons 11. 1 point each in command, security, and science. Scale 6 starship again. And its weapons array is a bit more varied. Disruptor arrays and disruptor banks. And it has photon torpedoes, plasma torpedoes, and quantum torpedoes. This thing has a very varied weapons set. And it has a strength 5 tractor beam. For talents, it has improved hull integrity, rugged design, and secondary reactor. And it has the same special rules: hyper-focus plasma torpedoes and drown them in plasma.
Because everybody loves plasma.
Yep. So, again, it might have seemed like we went through this all in a hurry, but we'd already done these things individually. But when issues forced us to redo everything, we decided we would tackle the Gorn all in one go.
So, we're going to be moving on once again.
Yep.
Of course, we will
This
be
w-
continuing with TOS Fiend vessels. We're just not going to be dealing with the Gorn.
Yep.
Bye.